the absurd, the obsessed, the obscure. Follow us if you dare as we open the files at My Weird Space. Join us at the Freaky Mask Club. Live it up at a chocoholic's dream. And float on down to Crazy Town. The lawnmower, another of man's great inventions, and another vehicle in the shed that determines for men that size really does matter. But these men have taken it to the next level. This is the 12-hour lawnmower race. Invented in the 1970s by a bunch of men sitting around talking about general dribble, they found their conversation was leading to motor racing and the ridiculous costs involved. So they all banged their heads together and thought of a new and fantastic, only a man could think of, idea: lawnmower racing. After placing notices in various locations around different towns, the event actually ended up with a good gathering of competitors. With around 50 competitors still turning up now in their hotted up rides, on mowers, with some reaching speeds of up to 51 k's. Believe it or not, the races are divided into 3 categories depending on the type of lawnmower. There are traditional looking lawnmowers with a seat attached, lawnmowers that look like buggies, and the bigger, more powerful ones that look like mini tractors. And after 12 hours of laps around the 1 kilometre track, what is the winner's prize? Nothing, except for pride and a broken down lawnmower. For all you sports nuts out there, you should be able to recognise this sporting event quite easily. It's the Soccer World Cup in Beijing. Although there is one factor we haven't mentioned yet, and that is this is no ordinary Soccer World Cup. This is the Robot Soccer World Cup. It may not be on the scale of the real World Cup, but the passion at this robot soccer tournament runs just as deep. And the riots here are out of control. Hours of training and practice on the field gets these players prepared for the all-important match. And like human players, the robots must be fast, smart, and have a good sense of the field. And try not to spin out of control. These people are actually hoping to invent life-size robots to be able to play against real people. And maybe a robot version would be better, or at least it would probably work out cheaper than paying a real player. And this way, every team could have their own David Beckham, and probably at half the cost. But the real excitement is at the awards ceremony, where the inventors win a trophy and the robots settle down after being a little wired. For any men out there that feel the need to prove how tough they are, they should work up the courage to come along to the annual Tough Guy race in the UK. The race will show anyone what they're made of. It will help you determine your lung capacity by making you run through smoke bombs. Then you can continue your struggle against breathing with an 8-mile run. It also helps you realise if you're overweight or not by making you squeeze through tiny tunnels. It will test you against your fear of heights, and if something were to happen, don't worry, there's always a superhero nearby to save the day. This muddy race to the finish line will see you get a few scrapes and bruises, but generally it's a safe and injury-free event. Although during this gruelling race, some competitors may become a little off balance and receive a little rope burn. This is one event where the competitors actually have to sign a disclaimer which reads, "It's your fault for being here," before taking part in the race. But once across the finish line, you're left with that feeling of satisfaction and quite possibly aches and pain. And if you come out of this with your shoes in one piece, you're obviously not going hard enough. Check out the new and improved version of pole dancing. Sexy, isn't it? No, this isn't really pole dancing at all. These very impressive performers are part of the acrobatic act for a new circus that has joined together Spanish performers and Chinese acrobats. Together, they've brought their own style and techniques to make this one special event. with the costumes and makeup designed to entertain and let your imagination run wild. And it takes a lot of preparation to look this good. Just ask Nurse Betty here how long it takes her to look this good. But I think this performer needs to be reminded that they are here to entertain and not scare people in an outfit like this. Like these guys do with the sound of their sweet music. So that's where my dinner set got to. As long as they don't break it, I don't mind. Elephants can be extremely cute animals, but what comes out of them, on the other hand, is not. But before you go saying that this looks like a pretty crappy story, wait and see what these people do with the elephant droppings. That makes this really quite interesting. Now, to begin with, it does look like they are in the process of cooking up some delicacy, soaking it in a marinade and simmering the droppings down in your average wok till you get this lovely looking heap of muck. But this is actually the process they use to make, of all things, paper. All this hard work sure does make everybody thirsty, but it's got me worried. What is in that blender? Once soaked in bleach, it's then spread out on frames and left to dry in the sun. And after this 3-day process, what are you left with? Odourless white paper. For anyone who isn't a fan of their job, they should be pleased they don't have to do this. This job stinks, literally. So, what have you been up to, and isn't the weather gorgeous today? Yeah, it's okay, I guess, but I wish I had my cardigan though. But have you seen my new t-shirt? Yeah, it's awesome. Look, I have a similar one. How great are they on your skin? Okay, now if you're wondering what these girls are on about, it's a brand new invention. Vitamin t-shirts. They're great for anyone that forgets to take their vitamins on a daily basis or hates fruit and veggies. They contain a chemical called provitamin, which then turns into vitamin C when it comes in contact with your body and is absorbed into the skin. I think I found a new way to trick the kids into taking their vitamins. Coming soon, Vitamin B Briefs. Halloween can be a scary time of the year. Even though this isn't about Halloween, I've come across some people partly to blame for it. Now, these people in Brazil who specialise in mask making are very talented at what they do and can make some quite attractive and artistic masks. The only problem they find with making these masks, though, is the amount of glitter they have to use. And as we all know, glitter is one of those decorations that you'll be finding on your body for years to come. And if it's not glitter they're desperately trying to scrub off, it will be the spray paint used on these ghostly ghouls. All these masks are being designed for the Brazil Carnival, with production workers cranking out 1,000 masks per day. But this would have to be the scariest mask of all. I'm still trying to work out why clown masks are so popular when so many people don't like them. But if scary isn't the look you're going for, don't worry, they cater for everybody, as this nice lady demonstrates. What's this? A museum that displays long, large poking devices? No, that can't be right. Still not sure? Okay, I'll give you a hint. These are the tusks from a mastodon that were found at a dig near Milia, along with the jaw and leg bone of the beast, which paleontologists had been excavating for the last 17 years. These two tusks on display at the Natural History Museum in Milia village in northern Greece are 5 metres in length and about 3 million years old. And here's one they prepared earlier. Scientists have been able to recreate a small-scale model of the mastodon, which the tusks belong to. They said it was a 25 to 30-year-old male that died in the prime of its life. It weighed a hefty 6 tons and had a height to the shoulder of 3.5 metres. From tusks to tail, the animal was almost 9 metres long. Now that really puts things into perspective. I've lived in houses smaller than that.
Food, glorious food. So much to choose from. Cakes, sausage rolls, and for anyone with a definite sweet tooth, chocolatey, cakey things.
Now this may look like the world's biggest bake-off, but in fact this is actually an attempt to bring together the largest number of chefs and restaurant workers to take part in a photo shoot. Now stop signing autographs, buddy, you're not famous yet. The photo hasn't even been taken. These hundreds of chefs are gathering around one of Mexico City's landmark monuments, so their photo can be taken by a Mexican photographer for the front cover of a book. They'll also be competing for a place in the Guinness Book of Records. Hope you've got some good sunnies because that looks awfully bright. Now everybody gather round and try not to squint. Say cheese. This hotel in the United States is slightly different from the rest. This place is decked out in chocolate. Its living room features chocolate-made chairs and coffee tables, and just about everything else a chocoholic desires for a comfy night in. The dining room features a chocolate-laid table and chandelier, so detailed it even includes chocolate candlesticks and strawberry and chocolate-style flowers. You can sit and admire the chocolate artwork while keeping warm by the chocolate fire. Let's hope it doesn't melt though. Willy Wonka eats your heart out. This is one place that even he would get excited over and probably quite jealous. This is the Chocoholic's dream vacation, and when you arrive, you might even be lucky enough to be serenaded by the owners with this classic. Welcome to the Hotel Chocoholic. Such a lovely place, such a yummy taste. There's plenty of room at the Hotel Chocoholic. Any time of year, you can eat chocolate here. There are a lot of people out there that find they have weird and wacky addictions. A couple of those addictions, but mind you are actually quite popular, are karaoke and exercising. So some smart person saw this as a great opportunity and has decided to incorporate the two. Now these addicts are getting the best of both worlds with cycling karaoke. While sprinting away on their exercise bikes, these gym junkies are screaming their lungs out to their favourite tunes. I wonder if they play Queen's I Want to Ride My Bicycle as a motivational starter. But this trend didn't start overnight. Surprisingly, it's been around for quite a while and is quite a competitive market to get into. But why haven't we ever noticed this before? Maybe it's because we're too busy being entertained by this mob. This is Strollercise, another great form of exercise that many people are taking part in. There are only a couple of things you need to be able to take part in this: a baby and a stroller. Obesity has become a major problem with young kids around the world, but one school in Thailand has decided to do something about it with the introduction of special fitness classes. The fitness program requires over-endowed students to do an hour of rigorous activity each afternoon. And what a good excuse to get out of class, eh kids? There are 4 different classes: swimming, gym, basketball and aerobics. And they're all designed to help these plus-sized pupils shed a few kilos. Simon says, raise your arms and shake them. Obesity may be caused by some people eating just way too much, but it looks like there's one little boy whose problem could be far worse. Doctors seem to think he's suffering from hungry bum syndrome. I think a lot of the motivation for these kids is the fact that they get enjoyment out of watching each other in very awkward situations and positions. But as long as they're enjoying it, they'll keep on doing it. And 100! Good job, kids. Keep reaching for the stars. Now here's a great way to get a scenic look around at your holiday destination. Instead of constantly being in a fast-paced environment, sit back, relax and enjoy the ride on the back of an elephant. Although it doesn't really look as comfortable as, let's say, riding in a bus. For centuries, bull elephants in India have been used to transport tourists to the hilltop of Amber Fort. Unfortunately though, authorities are trying to put a ban on this, saying that it could be dangerous if the elephants get out of control. Veterinarians have even said that an elephant could go as far as cracking a toenail. Maybe they just don't want to fork out the cost for a pedicure. Looks pretty harmless to me though. My dog is worse behaved than that. So to keep these giant animals under control, some smart people have come up with a great idea of free elephant healthcare and training for the people wanting to look after them. Sounds like a pretty big task if you ask me. It's been rumoured for years that dim sims are made out of cats. But I think these people may have taken it one step too far with the invention of the 3-dog bakery. But no, it's not actually what you think. The food here is not made out of dogs. This isn't your normal everyday bakery though that serves people delicious warm bread or scrumptious flavoured cakes. No way! This bakery is designed especially for dogs and serves them delicious warm breads and scrumptious flavoured cakes. Yummy, delicious treats topped with whipped cream and cherries leaves these playful pooches begging for more. The bakery also focuses on doggy accessories and gift sets designed for dogs of all shapes and sizes. Now, we all know dogs like to do disgusting things like sniff and sometimes taste other doggy droppings, but there's one treat they really should have left to their imaginations. Sprinkling a doggy droppings look-alike treat with sesame seeds really doesn't make it look any more appealing, but it seems to be one of their best sellers.
I'm so full, but I want more.
Ed is a true champion. He's had both legs amputated, but that doesn't stop him from doing what he loves, taking them off and grossing us out. Ed, an American mountaineer, lost both his lower legs in a flying accident and is attempting to become the first double amputee to climb Mount Everest with a 7-member team. Everest has always been a dream for Ed, and he plans to climb just like any other man. I suppose there are a couple of advantages of climbing Mount Everest with prosthetic legs. You don't have to worry about getting frostbite on your toes, and you don't need to worry about calf cramps. I'll drink to that. If you find your pets are looking a little stressed and need a vacation, then book them into a resort designed just for animals, like this one, the Little Paw Hotel. Here, your beloved pets can live it up in style and luxury and have the choice between single or double accommodation. With the help of these cameras, they're never too far from home. If you feel like you're missing your pets a little too much while they live the good life at your expense, you can always jump on the internet and see what kind of mischief they're getting up to. Get this camera out of my face. I'm here on vacation. Just like human hotels, these pampered pets have access to all the luxuries we would, like spas and saunas.
Oh, excuse me, I just have one question. I'm on vacation. Why am I exercising?
These people in Russia know how to have a good time. Not like all us boring people who think it's fun to attend carnivals and concerts, this lively bunch of people rock out with their Cucumber Festival. Although maybe that should be Veg Out. The cucumber has taken centre stage in Suzdal, a small town outside Moscow, which has been known for its rich cucumber crops for over 300 years. The vegetable-loving citizens spread their tables with cucumber salad, cucumber sandwiches, pickled cucumbers, cucumber sculptures and cucumber juice. The residents of this town even sing songs and arrive in fancy dress as, you guessed it, cucumbers.
This year, the cucumber title is mine!
Now this is my kind of festival. About 2,500 musicians broke out their trumpets, French horns, cymbals and giant drums in Bolivia and performed to an audience of thousands. Woo, yeah, I love you guys! With the amount these guys are playing, do they ever come up for a breath of fresh air? Ah, there it is. These same musicians broke a Guinness World Record for having 1,166 trumpets and French horns playing at once. Then they formally presented the Guinness certificate to the community. 1,166 trumpeters and French horns? Now that's a lot of horny people. For some people though, all this loud music and excitement can become too much. Oh my goodness, this is too loud. Let's get out of here. It took me a little while to work out why these people are putting on wetsuits just to get into a swimming pool that's most likely heated. But it also took this girl a little while to realise that a camera was on her. And why has this old man got an umbrella? You do know it's not going to stop you from getting wet in the water, don't you? Ah, now it all makes sense. They're all taking part in a floating carnival in Germany. Even Toad from the video game Mario Brothers wanted to take part. For some strange reason, these people like to float down a river that's only 4.5 degrees Celsius. At least it's a little warmer than the 3.5 degrees it is outside. But these temperatures do not dampen the party atmosphere. Almost 2,000 people take part in this crazy carnival, including some of the country's old-timers, whose hips seem to have frozen up. But at the end of the day, everybody is left with a feeling of satisfaction, or no feeling at all. That's all we have this time, but follow us again if you dare when we open the files at My Weird Space.